After a year of protests in the National Football League, President Trump showing the nation how to honor the flag last night in Atlanta.
All right, the commander-in-chief standing tall on the field, hand over his heart, sang the national anthem ahead of the college football national championship game, won by Alabama in dramatic fashion overtime.
The president was escorted out onto the field by members of the Georgia and Alabama ROTC color guard.
Let's bring in Newt Gingrich, Fox News contributor, author of Vengeance. He joins us. Newt, we know you're from Georgia. Sorry about your team, but what did you make of the fact that after the president showed how you do it during the singing of the national anthem, hand over heart, and yet some internet trolls are suggesting he didn't know the words, he got lost, he's got dementia. Oh, my goodness.
You know, this is why the left is going to be very disappointed with the elections this fall. The new tax cuts are working. Over 1 million Americans have already gotten bonuses, and more are coming down the road. Companies are announcing new investments and creating new jobs. The deregulation is working, and that's accelerating the economy. The president's standing strong for a national defense and for funding the Pentagon. All these are real serious things. The left has nothing but junk. They can't talk about any serious issues. The most they can claim is that they are so committed to DACA reform, to the Dreamers, that they're willing to close down the American government over it. That's their battle cry. So I think if Donald Trump came out on the field, sang the national anthem solo, and did so perfectly, people on the left would claim this was a sign he's not really doing his job because he's studying music, and how can he spend all his time studying music when he ought to be president? This is just junk, and that's all the left has got left now is finding new examples of junk.
Mr. Speaker, Congress is investigating these text messages between the FBI agent, Peter Strzok, and the FBI lawyer that was his girlfriend at the time, Lisa Page. We know about that, but we have some new information this morning that's suggesting that maybe these leaders in the agency, in the FBI, were leaking information about the Russia investigation to people in the media. And here's our evidence. Lisa Page texted him right before the election in October of 2016, said the article is out, but hidden behind paywall, so can't read it. Then he writes back to her, Wall Street Journal, boy, that was fast. Should I find, and finds in quotation, should I find it, as if he has to act like he's searching for it, and tell the team. Now, the word find, people are saying online that this is, they obviously were discussing how they can make it look like they incorrectly, I mean, they innocently discovered this article. What do you think about this? What does it tell you?
Look, you know, the tragedy of all this is that 98% of the FBI agents are honest, decent people who join up for the best of all reasons. They want to help make America safe. They want to do their jobs. They're proud of the long history of the FBI. But you have at the very top 1 or 2% who really have gone sour and who have clearly were engaged in things that were totally unacceptable. And this goes to the very top. It goes to Comey. And it goes to the deputy whose wife had gotten over $700,000 in donations from Democrats, and he didn't recuse himself. And then it comes down to people like the two you're describing. But this zone of corruption is very dangerous and very real. And unfortunately, it puts a bad name on all the honest, decent, hardworking FBI agents, many of them know. But we have no choice. The Congress has an obligation to investigate and find out what happened. And candidly, so does the Attorney General. I mean, he's not recused in this zone of FBI corruption, and he ought to be more aggressive in finding out what happened inside his agency.
I'm not sure what the Attorney General is doing or not doing, but just a quick thing on this. There's a lot of talk about the president testifying that Robert Mueller asked in December the Trump team, hey, we'd like to sit down with the president, and they're thinking about it. Do you think the president should sit down with Robert Mueller?
I think that they should proffer that Mueller can submit written questions, and they'll answer his written questions.
Yep, make it
but
that
I
easy.
would not get involved in a free-for-all. I mean, I think the idea of putting Trump in a room with 5 or 6 hardened, very, very clever lawyers, all of whom are trying to trap him, would be a very, very bad idea.
So why are they even thinking about it? Obviously, that would be the case.
Right. I mean, I don't know why they're thinking about it. They ought to say, look, if you want to submit written questions, we will provide written answers from the president. That's the only thing you're going to get I don't think it's possible for Mueller to force it to happen. And I think that if they offer them that, then they take it or leave it.
Mr. Speaker, real quick, the president's going to sit down with top leaders from the Republican Party and the Democrat Party later today at the White House. They're trying to narrow their differences so they could get a deal to fund the government. But the Democrats are making it very clear we're not going to do anything with the budget unless we get the DACA deal. Do you think the federal government's going to wind up getting shut down over the Democrats' demands?
Well, it's possible, but, they're in a very different position than we were back in '95 when the government shut down. We'd funded national security. We'd funded the FBI. If they threaten to close down the Pentagon, to stop American defenses over something that's so blatantly political, I think the Democrats are going to suffer very substantially in the country, and the country's not going to understand what their values are.
Well, stay tuned. All right. Newt Gingrich, we thank you very much. He's got a great book out there. It's called Vengeance. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.